Hi, I'm Dr. George Yancey. Let's share some paradigms. And the paradigm I want to share today is neither left nor right. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about why I don't consider myself a person of the left or the right. And in fact, the way I describe myself when I introduce myself as an academic, because most academics, let's be honest, are on the left, is I describe myself as a non-leftist academic. That does not mean I'm on the right. That means I'm not on the left. Does not mean that there aren't issues that I'm not very rightist on or very leftist on. There are some issues where I find myself very conservative, and other issues I find myself very progressive. But I'm claiming neither left nor right. I just want to discuss why that is. That may apply to you, it may not apply to you, but I think it makes for an interesting conversation and the sort of conversations I like to have on this channel. So, why am I neither left nor right? Now, some people may think it's because it's easier that way. You don't have to make a decision. You just say you're independent. You know, I see where that people might think that, but my experience is that it's easier to pick a side. Because if you pick a side, you instantly have allies. If I'm where I'm at, where I'm neither left nor right, I can have other people, which I hope I'm attracting to this channel, who are neither left nor right, but we disagree on certain issues. For example, I'm pro-life. There could be someone not on the left and right who's pro-choice. And we agree in that we don't like either other side, but we disagree on that issue. But those on the right and those on the left tend to agree on most of the issues. So once you say, I'm a person of the left or I'm a person of the right, voila, allies galore. So I think in some ways it's harder to take the path that I'm taking. And it's harder for those of us who are not on the left and right, who are dissatisfied with both sides. So this is not an easy path. So why pick this path? Honestly, it's because intellectually, I find both sides unsatisfactory. And oftentimes, I have an interesting social media journey. People will come follow me because they hear me, say, criticize Christianophobia. So they think I'm a man of the right. And then I'll talk about institutional racism and they're confused, or vice versa. So what happens is that my beliefs don't conform to the left or the right. I argue that political philosophies in our society, and perhaps worldwide, are social constructions. Have you ever thought about this? Why is there a correlation between what people believe about, say, the death penalty and how we should handle the Israel-Palestinian conflict and how we should have treated COVID, should we have opened up too soon, and what we should do about tax cuts and what we should do about affirmative action, race relations? There's a correlation to how people believe about all those issues. But they don't go together, do they? What happens is that we adapt a political philosophy, and that political philosophy tells us what to believe, and then we believe it. And I think one of the reasons why I'm neither on the left nor right is that I'm an independent thinker. I don't like conservatives deciding what I believe or liberals deciding what I believe. I believe what I believe on any given issue. If it happens to fall closer to the right, so be it. If it happens to fall closer to the left, so be it. I decide. I refuse to accept the socially constructed political philosophy that dominates our polarized society. I just won't do it. Another aspect about picking sides is that you'll defend things that you normally would not defend. For example, you'll defend people who engage in actions that you just condemned on the other side. An example I've used in other videos is the example of the defense of Clinton by the same people who went after Clarence Thomas for a much lesser offense. And the defense of Trump from the same people who went after Clinton for basically the same thing. Being who I am free to say I condemn both Clinton and Trump for their moral failings, their obvious immoralities. And I could say that makes me less likely to vote for them. Is it the only thing? I could vote for an immoral person in the right conditions, but I don't want to vote for an immoral person. I'm going to say that person's immoral. I don't have to defend them. I'm free in certain ways. Some of the actions I see from the Republicans was done by the Democrats. You know, the most famous one is the president goes on vacation, and the president's a Democrat, and you're a Republican. Oh, see, he's not working. And then vice versa when it's the Republican president. I mean, I find that humorous all the time. I'm free to say, well, should the president go on vacation? How much? And apply that standard no matter who. And I like that. I like not being beholden to the left or the right. I like being true to myself. I can't pick a side. I must go with what is best for me as I see things. Now, sometimes that means there are certain issues I've not thought through very much. And I don't tend to talk about them very much. I'll be shocked if I ever do a video on climate change. I'm not saying it's not important, and maybe I should think more about it, but it's not an issue I've not done a lot about. And I don't feel obligated to take a side on it because I'm not loyal to one side or the other. If I was a Republican, after not thinking much about it, I might say, well, that climate change is not that big of a problem. If I was a Democrat, once again, after not thinking that much about it, I would say it's a huge problem. Because I have to, because it's my side. And I'm not belittling those who thought about it and have a perspective on it. That's fine. I've not thought that much about it. And I'm not compelled to take a position because I'm neither on the left nor the right. So I stand by what I say. It's harder to not have a side than to have a side, to have allies, to have people who will protect you, who will defend you. But I'm more comfortable this way. I feel like being more true to myself, feel like I'm more free to go to where the facts take me. And, you know, sometimes I have friends on the left, sometimes I have friends on the right, sometimes my enemies will be on the left, sometimes my enemies will be on the right. And that's okay. So I'll just be what I am. I'll be independent. And hopefully that helps you to know that when I take a position, it's not because I'm trying to be loyal to one party or the other. This is just the way I believe. Does this share some paradigms? Paradigms about partisanship? About taking a side? Well, I hope you think that way. And one of the reasons why I did this channel is I want a place for Christians who feel uncomfortable on the left and the right and may want a place where they can vent, talk about these issues. If you like this sort of talk, please consider subscribing. If you like this talk, give it a like. Leave a comment, please. If you don't like it, leave a comment. I'm okay with that. Well, thanks for coming by. And come by again. We can shatter some more paradigms.